Friends, I got a question for you. If I could give you 5 fast travel points, meaning you can instantly teleport from one location to another, where would you put your 5 points? While you think about that, are you confused?
A little.
Okay, I'll explain it. I'll give you some rules and some breakdown. But first, let me welcome you to A Friendly Hypothetical, the show where each week we dive into a different hypothetical question. I'm your host, Michael. With me this week, Angie Schwartz. Hello.
Hello.
Nadine Cortez.
Woo.
And Ruby Ferris.
Hi.
Everyone here has been on an episode previously.
Yeah.
Angie, the one you were on, is the pilot that had technical problems and has lost the time. Maybe will be released at some point as like a bonus episode.
It's lore now.
Yeah, it's lore. But it was a little rough. I have a question, not a hypothetical question. Well, sort of a hypothetical. That I need. We've had a dispute that I need settled. Like she already knows that she's wrong.
Who is disputing?
Okay. Do you guys think it's weird to fill a Brita pitcher that has a filter from the bathtub? From the bathtub faucet.
Not weird. It's
Not
water.
weird. Thank you.
Comes out of
What do you
anywhere.
Go. I wouldn't do it, but logically I can see how
If
it's like
someone
it
was
shouldn't be
about to
weird, but
do
I
it
wouldn't
in
do
your
it.
picture, would you be like, no, don't do that. That's gross.
I would just give them like a really? Okay.
A judging glare. Like you're really
Like,
doing
okay.
that?
Yeah.
Um,
If I had to, yeah.
Okay, so if your sink in your kitchen was like full of, let's just say, not to name anything specific, cookie decorating supplies, and the pitcher could not be filled. We'll get to today's sponsor in a minute. Well, what? And you were like, oh, I'll go fill it in the bathtub
Yeah.
because we need to drink water to not die. Would you have a reaction? Or because then my next thing was to go to the sink in the bathroom.
Right.
But that was a problem because it didn't
It
really
didn't
fit.
fit.
So
Yeah.
I got
Never
like
fits.
3 ounces of water and then had to give up and didn't end up really filling it.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
I think you're a creative
May I-
problem solver.
May I add that I did offer to do the dishes at the time, so
You just would have needed to
picture
That's not a
could
timely
be filled
solution.
up.
That would have taken you an hour. There was so many.
You would have died of
dishes.
thirst.
I could have cleared out one side of the sink.
This feels like a retroactive changing of history.
For some reason, I think I might go to the shower before the tub tap. I don't know why.
It feels you could. It feels inefficient.
Yeah.
It's gonna get everywhere.
Well, I've got different settings on my shower.
Oh, you get like one that really shoots right into the,
Yeah, I've got that setting.
Yeah, I think I would feel it's still. I think your point is the most valid one. It's just water, one way or another. If you're gonna
Yeah.
fill it in one sink, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I do think it maybe feels a little bit weird if you were just like filling a cup to drink out of the
Yeah.
tub.
Yeah.
But if it's going through a filter, that seems. Like
I'm
that
also
should
the
negate.
weirdo that boils her water every time that I pour it into like a. Yeah.
Wait,
We've talked about
so-
this. I'm weird.
What?
So you boil your water before you put it into your...
Like it's like
Brita?
it's not even a Brita filter because I one time
Not
briefly
sponsored
read
by
somewhere that Brita filters have microplastics in them
For sure.
and was like scared of them all of a sudden. I don't know.
So what do you
hot
put in
take,
the
I guess.
water in?
So nothing. I just have like a kettle and I pour a lot of water and I go like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi until they get to 10 Mississippis.
And then you boil it.
Boil it,
And then
which
what do you-
usually takes a while because it's
Yeah.
a lot of
And
water.
then what do you do with it after?
I have like a jug thing that fits into my fridge.
Is it plastic or is it glass?
It's plastic,
I
actually.
think you might have the same problem as the Brita.
Yeah, maybe, but it doesn't go
I
in.
think you might
It doesn't
be-
go in hot, and I do
Okay.
clean the filter with like vinegar
Sure.
monthly. So not filtered, jug.
Jug.
Yeah, I'm weird.
I don't know.
I did that. You know what I think it is? When I lived in New Orleans, there's a lot of like because of the I don't know
Water quality.
Yeah, or hurricanes maybe.
Sure.
Made water quality not great. So there'd be boil water advisories all the time, which made me never trust water. So I don't know.
everywhere
It's
water
been
is
like 5
dangerous.
years since I lived in New Orleans,
Yeah.
but still somehow.
That seems like a lot of your life spent boiling
Yeah.
water.
I do make tea out of it. It is weird. So maybe I'm just a water weirdo, apparently.
But that's so funny that you're the one who is the most definitively like,
Immediately
"Not weird
like,
to
no,
fill it
you're
out of
not
the tub.
weird.
You're fine.
But also, I will boil my water if I
Boil it
have
in the
to.
tub.
And I won't even use a Brita because
Because it has microplastics, but I will put my boiled water in a plastic jug
Yeah.
to therefore put in the fridge.
I would fill my kettle from the tub and then boil it and then put it in the fridge.
I don't think, like, I feel like I might have done that at least once before.
It's probably
I might have
faster
also
than doing it
been
in the sink.
like, yeah, my
Depending on how
situation
much
with
water
the
you're doing.
filled sink. Yeah.
I could talk about this for an hour.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm fascinated. But maybe if we have time, we'll come back to it at the end. Welcome into that. You can listen to the show, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can find it on YouTube, youtube.com/@afriendlyhypothetical. Social media, Instagram, TikTok, @afriendlyhypothetical. You can email the show, same, afriendlyhypothetical@gmail.com. Today's episode brought to you by Seasons Treating, a cookie decorating company. Company. Maybe not legally. I'm not sure.
LLC.
LLC. I don't think it is
Nice.
actually. We can follow them on Instagram @seasonstreating. No S on treating, just one. But we'll hear more about them later. So, fast travel. Do you guys are you guys familiar with the term fast travel?
like in video games.
It's a video
Yeah.
game term.
Yeah, I
generally.
am not a gamer. So
Okay.
for us,
For the layman's.
for the layman's and the
Emphasis on
podcast.
the lame.
Wow.
I gotta get you a different button. So fast travel is like just a feature in a lot of video games when you have like a big map that it just means you can go into the map and like teleport instantly to a different part.
So why don't you just say teleport? Everybody knows that term.
Because it's a
Just want to
specific
call me
type-
out as a non-gamer.
Well, I just because it's a specific type. It's like specific points that you can't just teleport anywhere.
Got it.
So here,
Okay.
there's a few rules. You're gonna get 5 points to travel to each point. You have to be going from one to another. So like sometimes in video games you can just go from wherever you are to a fast travel point. No, these are point. So when you're at one, you have 4 options to go to any of the other ones, but you have to be at one. And the biggest thing is they're permanent. So you cannot, once you place one, you cannot move them. So that's going to make some of the decision making a little bit harder, especially if I believe everyone in this room currently does not own property. Everyone here is a renter of some kind. And so, just to start out with, obviously to your home in some form is going to be like, you'd want one of the basics, but what do? Do you do it like to the apartment you happen to live in right now and then maybe you'll just stay there? Do you do it to like the area that you live and think you might stay? Do you just put them in more general places? Like, cause that's the problem is the convenience. If you have to like drive to the closest one, the convenience factor for how to get to different things is really, really goes down.
Yeah, so I wouldn't even want one at my apartment and at work, which would seem like it's the most convenient, but I won't
What
keep
if-
this job forever and I won't keep this apartment.
How
forever.
dare you?
I know.
Good excuse not to go to work though? Oh, sorry. It's not one of my points.
I don't think that's a good excuse.
Gotta be remote.
That's how everyone lives currently, and you're still expecting to go to work. So I don't think that's going to be.
So I have to like live my everyday life, even though I have the pleasure of moving to wherever I want.
That's the
whenever
question.
want.
I mean,
Like,
you
that's
could,
great.
you could like. There's places near my office right now that are like close enough that even if I didn't work there anymore, I still might want to go back to that place for. So you can put it like geographically close to be like, well, I can walk to that and other places. And if in 5 years it's no longer the most relevant like commute place, but I feel like work is probably one I'm less likely to do. I feel like where I live now is at least a central enough location that I'd probably put one that I can
Close
walk
enough to
to
work.
it. I can walk to it. And then even if I don't live here anymore, like there's still reasons I might come back and like hang out in this area or something. And or maybe it just motivates you to be like, I have a point here. I'm not going to move to another random location.
But then you're stuck, sort of.
Sort of.
Now
or
you're
you
just-
could move to one of
yeah.
your other points. Put one where you live now and put another one where you most want to live in terms of like neighborhood or something. And then aspirationally, you'll just
Just a
maybe
random
you'll
house in Bel
you'll
Air.
work your- yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, how much recon are we doing? Can we find
Yeah.
out when like the celebs are not going to be at their houses and just do one of the celebs' houses for their winter house or whatever?
And then just squat in their house?
Yeah, they don't mind.
Maybe they think that their house is haunted because you just like appear sometimes.
Every time I come home, all my mugs are moved around and like all this stuff is different, but I can't figure out why. So it just keeps coming and going.
It's like
Someone
Parasite.
keeps boiling my
Yeah.
water.
How would they know that someone was boiling water while they weren't home? What clues did they deduce?
Diva, and the mugs. You said mugs. You took me there.
Wait, I have to go back. How much water are you boiling? How big is your teapot?
It's big. It's not huge.
I always think of a teapot as like a little kettle. I guess.
We don't need to dwell on this.
No, I know,
It's
but we
just a
came
joke.
back to it now because you were like it takes a long time to fill up, and then you said I thought you meant like a big pot, like a
No, it's like
know,
a tea kettle.
like a cooking pot, but no, you didn't. Okay.
That would be efficient to use a pot to boil water.
Should we just pivot the topic to how would you best boil water? No, this is my fault.
No, but I was thinking like I wasn't thinking logically when you first brought this hypothetical up to me. I was like, yeah, just somewhere nice that someone won't mind me crashing sometimes.
That's the thing.
Like,
you
not
have
my house at
like,
all.
You have 5, so you have different avenues. What? Okay, so what came to your mind first then? What was like your first thought? Just like
I was like, how much recon time do I have so that I
To
can
go
seek
find.
out what house I want to squat in when they don't notice that I'm there? Because I can leave whenever and they won't even know.
squatting is your first instinct.
No, I'm
love
kidding. That's psycho. But but I'd want it to be like a nice place, and I don't necessarily love my apartment right now. I'm actively trying to leave all the time.
Sure.
So
Yeah, that's tough. So then maybe a
that's
home
definitely not
base
going to be
is
one
not-
of yeah.
is not
So,
ideal. But you don't have to have it outside your front door. That's why I was like, yeah, maybe if you just have like a neighborhood that you're like, or a general area that you're like, this is where I would like to end up like buying a house or something at some point.
Got it.
You could
That helps.
future proof and like plant one in that area. And then like ideally, if you want to live there, it's probably somewhere you might still want to go
Yeah, totally.
somewhat
Totally.
regularly now.
Yeah.
What did you guys first think when I
Immediately, I was like, I should put one at Disneyland just so I can go there.
That's
all
producer
the
Emily's
time.
first instinct. She was like, one at Disneyland, one at Disney World. Obviously, I have 3 others to work with,
Just one at every Disney park around the world.
and then you have 5.
That would
and then,
make sense.
And then when you want to go to Disney World, you have to drive down to Anaheim from Los Angeles.
God, no.
Not the most convenient.
No.
No, I think Disneyland.
That would be one for me.
I had Cedar Point on mine because I love Cedar Point. It's my favorite theme park. And season pass, unlike Disneyland, is actually somewhat reasonable. And then, but you could just go as often as you want. So anywhere that's like a good, like vacation destination. Or what did you think?
I had 2 that immediately popped in my head, but I have a question about the rules.
Okay.
Can I bring someone with me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Great.
You can bring one person with you at a time.
Sure. That's okay. I'm
I
fine
feel like
with
that's
one.
fair and reasonable.
Yes. So the 2 that immediately popped in my head, and I can't believe that Disneyland or Disney World wasn't one of them. One is 2-step on the Big Island in Hawaii, where there is amazing snorkeling. And
I had Hawaii on my list too because you.
I brought it up
I
today.
I told you like a little while ago when we were talking that you just randomly said Hawaii, and I was looking at my computer and I was like, oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
yes, it's a wonderful spot for snorkeling, and I love snorkeling. And then the other one is a particular ramen shop that me and Ryan went to in Tokyo. And it's
Okay.
Ryan's favorite ramen of his life, so I would want to bring him with me when I go.
So Japan, yeah, I feel like once you branch out into like more destinations, because I think there's 2 kind of different approaches. There's like what could make my daily life more convenient. That's like home, work, maybe like a place that if there's like a certain place that you hang out with friends all the time, like a mall or, you know, anything like that, where you're like, I want to go there all the time. And the other thing to think about is not just like, where do I go now, but where would I go if I didn't have to drive, like if I didn't, you know, if it wasn't geographically restrictive. So, but I think the trip, like, oh, I want to go somewhere in the world. So you're kind of planting Tokyo in general as like a place you want to go. You have a specific location, because that's the other thing is like, you kind of have to put it somewhere that's not going to like freak anybody out.
Yeah.
Like I might put one near my parents' house, but I'm probably not going to put it like inside the kitchen and just pop, you know, appear out of nowhere and give my mom a heart attack. Yeah. I'm just inside the pantry. So it might be like down the street or something, or, you know, or maybe just in the town that they live that's close enough to be like, hey, I'm here, come pick me up or something.
Yeah.
But if they move or something, you know, like.
You bring up a good point, though, that we can't necessarily know what is happening in that location all the time. So, like, what if they're doing construction on the street where I'm trying to teleport and I like...
What's the safest? I feel like maybe...
I like teleported to like a giant ditch or something.
Well, that's a good question. I think what would happen in these rules that I'm making up completely as we're going along is, I think if they did something that interrupted it, then you would know. You'd like look at your little teleporter.
Okay.
It's clock stoppers watch or whatever it is that you have that where you choose which one you want to go to, and it would be like, oh, this one's offline because somebody screwed it up, and maybe you'd have to go there and like repair it, or I don't know, call the witch with the duffel bag would have to come and do maintenance on it.
A callback.
That's a callback.
Yes,
too,
that is
the
a callback.
First episode.
Question about the offline, possibly like interruption to the portal, the fast travel spot. Would you get it back in your inventory, or would you just physically have to go there and try to replace it on that spot?
I think it would have to go back in the same spot. So if you're putting it somewhere that could permanently get disrupted in some way, I don't know how or why that would be, but if like something gets built on top of it in a way where it's no longer available, you got to maybe be a little strategic in your placement to be like, this has got to be in a spot. Like if they're just like repaving the sidewalk, I think it can be, but it just has to go back in the same spot once it's like ready to be placed again. But yeah,
could you like Doctor Who it and put like a telephone box at all your portals?
Oh,
that way it's
to
not
do what? Oh, to just
to
like cover
appear
it?
and not be like weirdly coming out of space and time. And then just like have it be offline if someone's like trying to use a phone. Maybe that doesn't work.
You could do that, but if it's like a public sidewalk, you know, someone from the city might show up and be like, why is there, this isn't 1962. Why is there a phone booth here? We need to take this down. Like,
I don't.
In some places, you'd probably have total permit. Like if it's my parents' front yard, then sure, they have, you know, we have domain over that. If it's like at the beach somewhere, or, you know, somewhere or just on the street, then you're at the discretion of like, if someone tears down your telephone booth, then, I mean, I guess the worst case scenario, just no one's going to intentionally, we'll just say through the magic of the witch, no one's going to intentionally like be like, this can't be here anymore. Like they'll be allowed to be wherever they are. They're not intrusive to the sidewalk or whatever is there.
Yeah.
But if you put it somewhere and then like a building gets built onto it, you could appear inside of that building. But if it's not, you know, you run the risk of like, well, maybe it's in the basement and it's just concrete or something and it doesn't work anymore. So you just gotta,
you can't get out.
just teleport into it and you just die.
Yeah.
inside.
What if I teleport like between two walls in a new building?
You would just lose one. Like if something got built on it and it like disrupted it would just be like, and then you can't retrieve it for whatever reason, then you'd be or it just can't exist in that space anymore. If you built it on the edge of a volcano and it gets destroyed or something, then were you thinking about doing that?
No.
That would be like an evil lair.
My Bond villain lair.
Yeah, that's such an evil lair location.
No, I just realized I could put it in the like vault of a bank and just steal a bunch of money.
Regularly.
Yeah, regularly
come
over
and go.
time. Just that.
How did we get 10 minutes in and we've already proposed 2 different crimes that can be done?
No, I told you that
boiling water's not a crime.
Do not arrest me.
Squatting and bank robbing.
We're 2 for 2.
Squatting is a kind of negative sounding term. We should find a more positive sounding. I'll float that to the team and just go back to that. Just, you know.
What do you want the term to be? Living in someone's house without their permission?
A friendly visitor. Friendly
but if you're
hypothetical
not
visitor.
their friend, that's squatting. That's an unfriendly
What if
visitor.
I clean their house while I'm there?
You can make whatever arrangement with anyone that you want, but if they don't know that you've made this arrangement, that's a crime.
They might be happy if they come home to a clean house.
They might be. Then why not?
They
you
just think,
ask,
like Angie said, it'll be ghosts.
Why don't you just ask them for permission?
That's yeah, sure.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you can.
But they won't really have a choice.
You can make whatever deal. Well, you can make whatever deal with Angelina Jolie or whoever's house you want to live in.
You know what? All of Angelina Jolie's houses. That's where all my spots are going.
I bet you don't have enough points to cover all.
Well, you know what? She has a house in New Orleans, which is like definitely one of the spots I'm considering.
Oh,
You know, who else?
Unless Brad Pitt won that in divorce.
You could also
Let us know.
Yeah, Brad. Since I know you're listening,
Bradley.
write in, email at friendlyhypothetical@gmail.com.
And if you want to sponsor.
Get a female friend. Pitt, Brad. Bradley. Is it Bradley?
Bradley.
It
Yes.
is. You knew that really
Thanks.
off the top.
Yeah,
I mean,
she did.
you don't just name someone Brad. Could you just name somebody Brad and not use it as Bradley?
We've had conversations about this because I'm a big proponent of if you're going to call a kid Brad, just fucking name him Brad.
I have heard you make this
I know.
spill before
It
because
drives me
Clay's
crazy.
complained about being Clayton.
Everyone who
And I complain about my full name too.
yeah. I just go by Michael mostly just because my dad went by Mike, so I don't actively shorten it. But like some people go like their parents name them something and then just they go by their middle name like from birth. I'm like, what are you even doing with the first name? Yeah, so yeah, you can name a kid Brad.
Okay.
You can name a kid whatever you want.
That's
There's no
true.
law. There'll be no children.
Have you
legally
met
named
Elon Musk's
Brad.
kid?
Yeah, you can name a kid. What
It's
is
the
it?
Pythagorean theorem, but his name is actually Kyle.
I didn't know it was something crazy.
Is that's not true, is it?
No,
No, it's like X.
Yeah,
Z,
what is-
Y
yeah,
or
it's
something, isn't it?
X. It's some weird
I don't think it's
mathematical.
I don't think it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
It might as well be
Middle name Kyle.
Musk.
Kyle. What is there? Are there any other? We'll come back to like Japan and vacation destinations and such. Are there any other types of places that you guys can think of that are more related to daily life?
I feel like you squashed that for me when you said we couldn't ever move them.
Well-
because since you've known me, I have moved like 3 or 4 times.
Sure.
So I want to hear everyone's answers.
No, go ahead.
No, I want to.
You
I
need
can't
ideas.
think of. Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Well, like would anyone do like? I guess yeah, but it's almost like the possibilities almost squash some of the like normal things because I'm like, oh yeah, but if there's like a mall that my friends and I like to
You
hang
keep
out
saying the mall.
I'm just saying it as an example. Like, what's a place that would be a cool meeting point that you're like, all of us could put our points at the same place and then we could just hang out really
Aw,
quick and
that's so
easy. Well, not you, but my actual friends.
Oh wow.
Nadine. I totally immediately thought K-Town with Nadine.
Aw.
Yeah, so but then when you think, because I was like, oh, the beach, but I'm not going to do the beach in LA. I'm going to go to Hawaii if I'm just going to go to the beach. And then I'm like, oh, if I really want to hang out at the mall, I could put it at freaking Mall of America or like somewhere cooler.
You return to the mall yet again.
I'm just saying, why not go to the best mall that there is? I didn't even have a mall anywhere on my list, but I just, I'm just trying to think of like local convenience.
Yeah.
I was thinking of one of the movie theaters
Sure.
that we often go to, just because even if I move, I'll probably meet up with somebody at a movie theater from time to time.
But what's the best movie theater in the world?
In the world, girl.
They might be in LA.
They might
Actually, I
be.
don't know if there's cooler ones other places, but there's some cool ones here.
I just like Universal's IMAX, honestly.
Yeah.
It's my go-to.
That's a good place to put a point.
Nah.
If you want to go to the movies,
And the park. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
there's
a bad
bunch of-
place to
That's
put
the
a
thing.
point.
That's why I'm saying it's like there's a bunch of stuff there, so
Yeah.
like you have multiple uses. You can go to Margaritaville.
Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
Jimmy Buffett, R.I.P.
Yep.
Sponsoring this podcast.
Jimmy Buffett from the grave.
I think Jimmy Buffett would have been fine with you fast traveling to his house.
There you
There's
go.
one in like the Bahamas or something. I don't know where he
The
would-
Bahamas isn't very far from Miami too, so get on a boat. Jimmy Buffett's boat. He's dead.
He's dead. He's been
You
dead.
won't mind.
He's been dead. But he's been dead for like 6 months. His boat's just up for grabs somewhere, waiting for someone to show up.
I mean, I feel like it's not unrealistic to believe that wealthy people are just so wealthy that they have several locations that they just don't even inhabit and wouldn't even notice if someone was
Yeah.
taking up for like a limited amount of time. And then someone who has the ability to just skedaddle.
That's true. I mean, it would make doing crimes way easier.
Totally.
Yeah.
What I don't know is I think that they may not have it immediately, but I think at some point the FBI is going to be able to do like a backdoor trace on your
Oh, so
fast travel.
we're not
points.
keeping this a secret. This is like a common thing everybody has.
Well, that's kind of an interesting question because I do think that might actually change my answers. I was going into it with the supposition that other people in the world would also get points. So like that was why like, oh yeah, you and your friends, let's like pick a common point that we can all meet up
Everybody
at.
gets a point.
Or I mean, it just depends on. I would venture down that path just because I think it's a little more interesting. If you're the only one with points, then it's a lot more about just where you want to go individually, and maybe you can bring like one person with you. But I think if you're living in a world where everyone has fast travel points, I think that adds like a nice wrinkle to the. I'm really stuck on like, where would I go in my normal life that there's not a better version of somewhere else? I don't think there's many answers. I think maybe you do need to branch out and utilize the long distance.
No one loves air travel either, so it's
Yeah.
it's fun to immediately think of something like Angie said, like Tokyo.
Yeah. But then you think like, how often are you actually gonna?
I mean, but if you have the
All the
accessibility, you
time.
go for dinner every Thursday.
Exactly. I'd be going for dinner
true.
all the time.
Yeah.
I picked that one restaurant, but it's in an area surrounded by amazing restaurants, so I could
Right.
go
There you go.
wherever.
Yeah, if you just go to somewhere in Tokyo, there's a million things around.
Yeah. To
I think
speak
that's-
to your weekend plans. It's like, oh, do you want to go to the beach today? Yeah, but I want to go to the beach in Tokyo, or I want to go to the beach in XYZ place where
Sure.
we have our fast travel point.
Yeah. I agree. That's why one of the high ones up on my list was New York, just because that's like now I can pseudo live like between LA and New York.
Cool.
Like New York has a lot of
Yeah.
The dream.
like Hawaii is like, I'm going to go for a specific purpose, but I might not do that all the time. Yeah, maybe on like the weekends and stuff, like I would want to go to the beach and whatnot. But like New York is just like opens you up to like a million restaurants, like lifestyle shows. Like there's just so much to do on like a nightly basis.
I
if
feel
you
like
live
you're
there.
thinking too logically of this though, because it's like go to Hawaii and get a coconut and then go back home. You just want a coconut.
Rihanna has done that
I go to Trader Joe's and get a coconut if I want. Why would I go to
From the
Hawaii
source.
and just get a coconut? Are you stealing again? Are you stealing who are you getting this
You're not
coconut?
supposed to bring produce back. from
Yeah.
Hawaii.
That's true.
Jesus Christ, I just keep committing crimes.
My point is to commit crime.
I guess you've always wanted to be a criminal
Yeah.
or something.
There you go.
Just
I just never had
Didn't have the means. I'm too
means.
slow.
Yeah.
If only I had speed, I would be a mess. That's what I would bring to the Ocean's 11 heist is
A fast travel.
getaway. I wouldn't even need a getaway driver.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I actually do want to live in Hawaii. So you were saying you would only be going there for a specific purpose. I'm like, actually, I do want to live there, so I might as well just put
It was
a
on
fast
my
point
list
there.
because I definitely could see that is a place. I feel
And
like
she's like,
there's
I'm going to
not-
retire there.
I think-
so
yeah, I think-
long-term landing.
But first, I have to steal all the money from the banks, and then I can retire.
I was going to reference that.
I'm going
at
to
some
steal
point.
a bunch of money and then destroy that point. Get rid of it
Yes.
so no one knows
No one
I
else.
was there,
Yeah.
and then I'll just live the rest of my life
With your
4
4
points. But
Well, because you brought up that there is a risk that we could lose some of our points to construction, natural disaster. I don't know.
yeah,
I just want to have a bunch of money, and then I could use regular travel to those
Sure.
places, you know. But I've got all my
but do
money.
you guys think
Change your identity a little bit.
Yeah.
this is veering off into a totally different question? But
It's a true crime
do you-
podcast
I
now.
know. Well, I was going to say, do you think that the difference between you committing a heist, a bank robbery, and not is the ability to get away with it. If you could get away with it, would you just do it?
You're asking about my morals, about my moral compass.
I mean, any answer is valid, but
Sure.
I haven't not thought about it.
I mean, the bank stole trillions of dollars from the U.S. taxpayers.
I didn't make Now You See Me my entire personality the year it came out for no reason. So
What a
You
fun
sat
movie.
there in your room for a year being like, if I throw this card just right, I can rob a bank with it somehow. I bet.
let me just influence this one man
Yeah.
in Paris across the world to just help me rob this bank.
One of the weirdest movies.
It's so
like,
fun,
It's
though.
fun and it's
So
cool,
fun.
but it's also so stupid.
It is.
Like the way
silly.
it plays out actually like throws the card and it flies all the way around the room and completes
God.
like a checklist of tasks in one throw is absurd.
The second movie where they pass around the card to each other.
Yeah.
I was like, how did no?
I gotta revisit those.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
So you would
I would
commit robbery.
for legal purposes. No,
But
I
what if
wouldn't.
you weren't-
But I would.
Yeah, but what if would you do it if there was still some risk? Like you can get in and out and like there's going to be you put it inside the bank vault, there's going to be no physical way someone's going to stop you in the moment. But would you always be worried that they were going to trace it back to you?
There's always a risk for everything, though.
I know, but some
Just
risk
take
is
gold
like
bullions.
some what?
Is that what they're called?
What'd you say,
The
bullions?
The gold.
Oh yeah,
Like a
yes.
gold brick.
Yes.
Yeah, they can, it's not traceable, is it?
Yeah, can they?
Yeah, but they might trace that you
They
were the
might
one
be
who came in
heavy.
and out.
Oh, but there's serial.
It's not like I'm not saying
numbers on the
they're gonna like
cash, though.
GPS trace you, but what if they figure out that it was your fast travel point that was in the bank?
Sunglasses and a little scarf, a little babushka scarf. No one sees you.
But what if they're able to figure out that it's your fast travel point?
Got it. Yeah, because the FBI is tracking our fast travel.
They might be.
Right.
We don't know yet. They don't have the access immediately, but they also weren't tracking our phones immediately.
What
and they
if
figured
I
it out.
bring like a little like hacker with me? What if one of my spots is in Russia? I go find a crazy hacker. They don't like Putin though.
and a
And
Russian
then
expat?
they block the FBI.
Wow.
Because I for some reason
like a
pictured
football
that
player.
yes, multifaceted
They take
hacker,
your-
Yeah,
they take your
also
point off the
bulky.
grid.
bulky and nerdy. So a gem for sure.
Let's follow this path out for a second. You end up you put a fast travel point somewhere in Russia, the largest country on earth. What's your method by which you're going to track down a hacker who can take down the FBI?
Bring a Russian friend and then leave the Russian friend there and take the hacker.
She just lives there now.
She has family. She'll find a way home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got to recruit a
friend.
Russian who's dying to go back to Russia but needs a method of travel.
It's so funny because my immediate senseless jumps whenever this subject was brought up was, can it be like somewhere fictional? So I'm just like not even thinking in the plane of reality.
You're gonna put it at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, no, but I was thinking the same thing.
We're
I'm not gonna
doing
lie.
it. That's a totally different question.
Well, one of my first thoughts was like the moon.
She better go
I was like,
prepared.
maybe
do
the
when you
space
get-
station, the International Space Station, which they're like stopping. So that's not
Oh,
even.
yeah.
That wouldn't even be.
I think at least for me, the moon is not a super interesting choice because
but
what do you
like
do- what do you do when
Mars
you
or
get
something.
there?
But yeah,
yeah,
I look at Earth and I reflect on the beauty of.
it's like in Spider-Man how they're always like every Spider-Man has a place that he goes to
Yeah.
to like he sits on the Chrysler building or whatever, whichever one, and
Yeah.
looks at the city. It's
And he
mine
sees
is
the moon.
I have to do a lot of preparation to go and be. I think it's harder to be reflective on a week to week basis when you have to put on a spacesuit.
Okay, what?
We'll come back to closer to the plane of reality in a moment.
So no crimes.
I'm not
Well, that's
stopping
what I'm
anyone
thinking.
from
Like
doing
people
crimes.
are breaking into banks without having this special pass.
I know, but I just the thing about the crimes to me is then you have to live, even if you might get away with it.
You have to live with your guilt.
I don't even know about guilt, but you have to
Guilt,
live with the fear of that you gotta look
Somebody-
over your shoulder the rest of your life knowing what if they figure it out.
Well, that was
That's
just
tough.
my first like this is how I can make money, but what are
Sure.
some other ways that you could monetize?
That's
This.
goes back to the different paths. If you're the only one with them, that's easy. I mean, people
But
can
it's
just
only
buy
one
tickets.
person at a time.
Yeah, but they just buy a ticket
Yeah.
and then you just bloop back and forth, one person at a time.
If you're the only person with it, then the thing about bringing someone along isn't really a thing because they would have their own. So you would just have to like sync them up.
Yeah, but like you and like let's say you and your partner live together.
And met later in life. What if you already picked your 5 and picked the
Well,
wrong 5?
But you if you each have 5, that expands because they only got to overlap in one
You can
spot.
go 2 places.
So you basically have like 9.
That's fun. I
you
like
could
that.
both go together.
Expansion pack.
And yeah. I feel like sister wives would become
Oh my God.
and polyamory would become more common because people would be like, if
my
we bring some more
goodness.
people into this, we're getting more fast travel points.
Yeah.
That
This
is
person's
so
got one in
funny.
New Zealand. Let's bring them in the mix.
Yeah.
I don't even like them. They just helped me go to New Zealand.
Yes.
It's a whole new level of
Instagram?
superficial dating is
Yeah.
you're just using people for their fast travel. And then you get there and you're like, see you later.
Yeah, totally. Like I did to my Russian friend.
Yeah. You just deposited someone in Russia against their will. They live in Siberia
Oh my God,
now.
in the middle of turbulent times.
Yeah, it's not a great time to drop someone off in Russia.
I'm so
Are
sorry,
you
dear
trading?
friend.
You said the hacker's anti-Putin. Is the friend who's in America pro-Putin?
No,
and you're
probably
trying
not.
to-
That's
you're like,
probably
"Screw
I'm
this
screwing them
person,
over. Yeah,
I'm
no.
dropping
I
them
take it
off."
back. I take it back.
We'll come back to some maybe not more realistic options in a second. But I want to tell you about today's sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by Seasons Treating. They do excellent homemade sugar cookies with custom designs, great for celebrating any occasion. They can do other baked goods. Cookies aren't your thing. Cakes, maybe a pie. If you're watching on YouTube, Spotify, we're going to put in some videos and photos of the cookies. Did you look at the screen as if they were going to? They're not
I'm
already
looking at
there. Oh. They've done bridal showers, birthday parties, tons of themes: Mario Kart, Toy Story, Harry Potter, sports, any custom theme, citrus. Done a citrus theme.
I love
Amazingly
that.
enough. Follow on Instagram at Seasons Treating or email. Is it seasonstreating@gmail.com? Is that right? If you want to order custom made cookies, brought to you by our very own producer, Emily. Now, you might be thinking that this is just a chance to plug Emily's cookie business, which it is, but it's actually very good. And she's incredibly
They're delicious.
self-conscious about her work. So if it wasn't good, she would not be having me put it out into the public and have an Instagram and do all of that. But they're incredibly high quality and professional. And you can get, custom ones, or like you can look at things she's done in the past and pick from that. But do you have anything to say?
Nope.
Great.
Thank you. That was very nice.
Hey, you're welcome.
I
Now
appreciate
you owe
it.
me a lot of money now.
I know.
This is very valuable.
Can I pay
real
you
estate.
in cookies?
No.
Oh.
They're around a lot.
He's already been paid.
There's already been many down payments and cookies in the past. So, we've,
Apparently, I'm the criminal.
We've thrown out. Yeah, we've established that.
I'm sorry,
You
Mom.
don't have to go through with it. There's still time. You can still change.
Yeah, I haven't selected.
Yeah, no, these are all we're just batting around the ideas to try to see what are some other like more vacation-y destinations that come to mind for you guys. We threw out Hawaii is a great one, Japan,
Greece.
Greece.
Would
I
you
would
do?
love to go to
Would you
Greece.
do the homeland? Because I was thinking Costa Rica is definitely going to be one of the spots.
Probably
Yeah.
for me too, because
Costa
it's
Rica.
been
Can I
for
come
me
to-
personally. It's been like I haven't gone back since I left. Actually,
Whoa,
I know,
dude, that's
And
crazy.
travel's
Yeah, it is. That's that's a big thing, especially Costa Rica is like a touristy spot. So it's like try to go in the summer. Nuh-uh, you're not having it.
no.
But yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy. I haven't been since 2018, which is not nearly as long.
If,
still long though.
if you guys take me to the Philippines and Costa Rica, I will take you to South Carolina.
Whoa.
You want to talk about a tourist destination?
I'd rather go to Disney with Emily.
Yeah.
Just drop me
do
off in
it.
Costa Rica, and then you can come back, and then we'll take you.
There
to
you go.
Disney.
I love this drop-off scenario where you're just
Yeah.
like taking people, leaving
Everyone's
them,
just, like,
going to
using
other
each other. Yeah, that should be fantastic. Okay, so Philippines,
Yes,
Costa Rica,
Greece.
Greece.
Yeah, Greece
What
is great.
Is there anywhere specific in Greece?
Oh my god, I
I
can't
would
think
say
of
one of the islands because
Yeah.
I've been to like mainland Greece. I've been to Athens, and it's beautiful, but it's like I wanted to be in Ibiza.
Mykonos.
Mykonos. Ibiza's in Spain, actually, right?
Yeah, Ibiza's in
Yeah.
Spain.
Oh, yeah.
But Mykonos, it was or
Is that-
whatever.
that's a Greek island, right?
Yes, whatever Greek islands. I didn't get to go to them, and I was like, they're so close.
You're right there.
It's a
We
little
saw a
bit-
lot of ruins, which were really cool, but like
Yeah.
you always hear about the beaches in Greece and the islands, and
I feel like an island in Greece is a pretty safe bet, but you are taking a little bit of a risk going like picking a spot you've never been.
yeah, that's
before,
true. That's an
because
interesting
you're stuck
thought.
with it.
That's
so,
true.
but again, I haven't been. There's like a lot of places I haven't been. I'm like, if I narrow it only to places I've been, that's part of the point, right?
I love Amsterdam. That would have to
Okay.
be one of my spots.
Sure.
That's a good.
That's
one.
another good one. That's like
Love it.
just like on a night, like I'm going out for the night.
Oh
We're going
my
to Amsterdam
gosh,
and just
that would
like,
be
Yeah.
dope.
you know,
I'd love that.
Yeah.
I would die. I've been like 2 or 3 times, and I still want to go back every other Wednesday.
that's cool. Yeah. Every other Wednesday, specifically.
I just made that up, but yeah.
It's like we'll ask you on Wednesday. Like, do you want to go back to Amsterdam
Yes.
today?
Yeah.
I know today on Thursday, a week from Wednesday. Yes.
There's someone whose house they're never there on Wednesday nights, so I can go stay in their house.
The house idea might be flawed. Maybe it's just a coffee shop.
But here's the thing: I think it's the right idea because you could like make friends, make pen pals, like almost like a pseudo Airbnb
Pen
situation where you have like a network of like
It's
oh,
a timeshare
yeah.
situation.
Like, you get an extra bedroom in your house, and then like my friend in Mykonos who lives there can come stay in LA when they want and do LA stuff. And then we can like trade back and forth, and like you could have a whole, way to
Very
make
the
friends.
holiday of us to do.
Love the holiday.
You're talking about a way to make money. This is like an app,
Yeah.
like a date, like a dating app, but for like destination, like to pair people with pen pals who want to share points and like lodging and whatnot.
They were just sharing points, but then they fell in love.
But then they That's an amazing rom-com. I'm cutting this out. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Poor man's copyright right now.
Yeah.
Write it down.
I'm cutting this out.
So really the first step I know for us is that we have to get like a house or an apartment with another bedroom.
You gotta have
don't have
something
that
to
right
offer,
now.
probably. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe a nice couch could be okay.
Yeah.
You're just gonna, when you get on the app, if you don't have
Yeah.
much to offer, you're not gonna get as many matches from people with cool houses. So you gotta,
Damn.
you'll just be playing in a different
Isn't that
in a
just
different
the way
league.
it goes?
Yeah.
What other locations would you pick, Nadine?
I do want to go to Japan or South Korea.
And I mean, like, she hasn't been to Japan before. Have you been to Japan
I've
before?
never been to Japan.
She hasn't been to Japan before, and she can just tell her all about Japan.
There you go. Or she could take me
I
with
can
her.
take you and then we can
Yeah.
wander around, travel
Sure.
around, and you can pick your spot that you want to travel to.
There you go.
There you go. Angie can put her spot down, and then I'll go with her next time, and then I'll put my spot down.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I think there has to be some kind of limit on like if you take someone through a portal, I think there needs to be like a cool down. Like you can't take anyone else through for like let's just say an hour. It doesn't have to be crazy.
Okay.
But like you can't just like
An hour is
backdoor your
reasonable.
way into like bringing 50 people to Japan with you by just going back and
No.
forth. over
Yeah,
and
an
over
hour's
again.
reasonable. Have some lunch.
I think you
come
gotta.
back.
I think there has to be. Otherwise, otherwise there's no
walk.
reason you couldn't just say you can bring unlimited people with you. But yeah, if someone has Japan, maybe you don't want to use yours on Japan. Maybe you want to use yours on Australia, and then you can hang out and go to different places together. True. I think Australia is a good one.
Jesse would definitely pick New Zealand, so I'm not picking that.
New Zealand's an interesting one because is that a place you would want to go back to a lot?
He would.
Oh, I know some people. would. But like not
Is
that
it
I'm
for
like
the Lord
New
of
Zealand
the
sucks.
Rings
I would only
houses?
go once.
Okay.
But it's just like it's like a sight. It feels more like a sightseeing. I feel like mine are more like 100. Like the 150th time you
yeah.
go to New Zealand, is
You
it going
like
to be
the
as cool?
convenience aspect.
Well, it's
of
not just
this.
convenience, but it's about repeat value. If you go somewhere and see it, and you're like, "Oh, cool! I'm gonna
It's
put one
more
at the Grand."
valuable than nature, Michael.
No, I'm not. Listen, if you like, New Zealand's beautiful, and I love hiking. So I'm not even saying I wouldn't pick it. I just think you can't just be like, "Oh, where do I want to go? Where have I always wanted to go on vacation once?" And then like you go and you're like, "Cool, checked it off my list." That's not real. Like you can still take a plane somewhere and go on vacation, or if you go to like How far is the Philippines from Japan in terms of a flight?
Oh, like this is a legitimate question.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not too far.
Okay, because you could also go a little regional, like, yeah, it's a 15-hour flight from LA to Tokyo.
That's
but
like if
from
you were doing the Greek islands, you would probably not be too far away from the other islands. Like if you're just on one, you're just on the
you go to
strip of
Greece,
islands.
you
I
can
was
take
thinking
a-
like when I said Greece, like I was just thinking a central islet and then just go elsewhere.
Hopping.
That's
by
why
boat.
maybe you wouldn't even do an island, but you could still go to the islands if you want. But then if you go to like Athens, you could take a train to Rome, or you know,
Oh, that's a
like
good point,
you
yeah.
go places that open up your kind of like geography a little bit.
But you're making me feel like I think like one spot should be just like kind of a secret, isolated spot away from.
Just for you.
Yeah, just for me
Sure.
and who I bring with me.
Is that going to be if it's we'll just say for the moment, you can come back to it. Let's say it's not the moon.
Oh,
It can be. I'm not saying it can't be. I'm just saying.
no, you're right.
But
Yes.
let's just brainstorm some other options.
Yes,
Would it be
right.
somewhere like a New Zealand or like a
yeah.
Australia, Hawaii, like somewhere that's remote and like scenic?
Yeah, probably.
I think that's not something
gotta
I
be.
had.
If I like
considered,
you
but-
said, went to the mall where I dropped one of my points, grabbed a coffee, and then just like teleported to under the northern lights with my coffee.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go see the Northern Lights, but I gotta go to the mall first.
Gotta go to my favorite
She
coffee
needs
shop.
her fix.
Yeah.
I was wondering, is there a specific place in the Philippines? Would you choose like where you grew up, or would you choose somewhere else?
Probably somewhere else because I can always just find my way back to where I grew up.
Yeah.
Plus my extended family lives there right now, so I will have remnants of like my childhood home. And, like I'll have my childhood home there, but then I'll just see remnants of it and I'll just be like, okay, great. Now that I've seen that, I'm gonna explore the rest of this country here. So I think it's correct me if I'm wrong on this, the southern province region? I should know this because I lived there.
Yeah, you were a child.
I was a
Yeah,
child.
you were like 10 when you left, huh?
Yeah, I was 10. Yeah, I was 10 when I left, and I barely knew anything from there. But there's a specific beach. They had to close it down for some time because it was a tourist destination, and it was trashed. So they closed it down for 6 months, 6 or so months, just to clean it up. I'd
Jeez.
probably put one there.
One big party.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd probably put one there. Or there's this other island that nobody really talks about. It's called Palawan. It's gorgeous. Yeah, stunning. I feel like that would be like my isolation point. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
I have no comment. Unfortunately, I've never been to the Philippines, so I don't know what are the good and bad places to go, but so I'll just have to take your word for
Yes.
it. It sounds cool.
Yeah, it's great. It's beautiful. Stunning.
Do you guys have any that are people centric?
Yeah.
New York.
Oh, New York.
New York is people centric for me.
Miami for me.
Like a specific like friend. You have like specific friends or family or something you want to see there.
Family, personally, and just you were talking about. I forgot where how you mentioned New York earlier,
You don't listen
but
to what I say normally.
I never do anyway. So.
It's fair. That's why I record it so I can send it back to you later. This is
when I said this?
Remember what I said? I have it on film.
But yeah, for me personally, people centric wise, I love New York.
Mm-hmm.
There's people always talk about like New Yorkers are mean, New Yorkers are this, and I'm like, I have never had somebody be mean to me in New York. I'm like, y'all are not open to the people's energy in New York. They'll look at you weird sometimes, but then they'll just talk to you. And I love that about New Yorkers. Yeah.
New Yorkers are sociable.
They
for
are.
Sure. They're not always friendly necessarily, but they're
Yeah.
like, I feel like they're generally, a lot of people are conversational.
Oh, absolutely.
The reason I brought it up is if I had the option to go to 5 places and one of them is not near my mom's house, I would never hear the end of it. She's like, you have 5 points and you did not put one of them where you could come visit easily.
Yeah.
So like I have to put one at least close enough. I could pick somewhere regional where maybe it's like a drive or something, but I have some other options available to me. But like I just would never hear the end of it.
I was thinking of that, and it's like the double-edged sword of like, but then you don't have an excuse not to like see family
Then you
all the
have
time.
to actually go.
Which is fucked up, but honestly, like,
But yours would be Miami, right?
yeah.
you're-
But then you also think about, because I was thinking you were talking about long term, and we were talking about like possibility of construction and stuff, and if anywhere is gonna get flooded first,
Just gonna sink into the sea.
you're like already 5 feet below
Yeah.
sea level. Like,
You're like, I put mine in Miami, Costa Rica, Hawaii, New Orleans. They're all
They're all
gone.
underwater,
In 20 years, they're all underwater.
yeah, exactly. So that's like also a consideration.
Yeah,
You
you might
and
need
your
some
mom have
elevate.
to establish like a different meeting
Oh,
spot.
true.
Yeah, just find, get some elevation.
See, but I
Yeah.
think when my mom would pick Cuba, that's also going.
That's also going.
Like, what is the lifespan
There's a
of
lot
these
of
spots?
challenges with going to Cuba. Other than just the
Yes, there are.
global
You're
warming,
right.
but-
That is correct.
I feel like in her like older age she might feel differently, but my mom would be like a little bit the opposite of your mom, where she'd be like, why the hell would you put
Well,
you only
okay.
have 5 points, why would you put one here, what are you doing?
But you're drivable to your
I am
family
currently-
and have been for most of your life. So it's like you have not had the problem
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
much of like wanting to go home and not being able to.
Yeah.
I do agree. It's a real slippery slope once that fast travel point is there. The expectations of your being around are totally different. But
They are
the nice
raised.
thing is that you can do the short, because it's like it's exhausting doing the go back and for 2 weeks and then
Fair, especially when you travel with a dog.
Right.
And it weighs 20 pounds.
But you
have
can
to pay for a
but like
ticket.
you could take it,
count.
yeah, you could take a dog
No, but I mean like
as it counts as your
your one.
I think.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Jesse.
a pet you and Jesse can go somewhere, but you, Jesse, and Frankie cannot all go somewhere together.
He can bring Mellion if he wants,
Yeah,
but
he can use
Frankie's
his own
coming with me.
point.
Frankie's
Yeah.
a non-negotiable.
And Frankie's a
Yeah.
non-negotiable.
But like you could take Frankie on a walk, pop into your mom's house or whoever, say hi,
She'd love
have a
that.
cup of coffee, and then go home. Like it becomes a lot more casual. Like you don't
Yeah.
like right now. It's like it's a whole ordeal to go home, but when you can just pop in for an hour and then leave, it becomes less pressurized.
The psychology of this is kind of interesting as well, because I feel like as much as I love my high school friends from back home that I've had as friends for all my life, we've kind of, our relationship has changed and
Yeah.
evolved a little since I've lived here. It's only been like 3 years, but
You've only lived here for 3 years.
yeah.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, so the dynamics have already changed, and it's like if I'm there all the time, but I'm also here all the time, like where do I live? You know,
Yeah.
it's like what's your psychology behind it? What is home?
Oh, we just started watching Severance.
Oh, I couldn't.
That's
It
about like
stressed me
being in
out.
2 different places at one time, basically. And
Yes.
it's like, yeah, you kind of lose track of.
On the
Where's
other
my
hand,
life?
it might be like an age-based thing because, like, in my 20s, I'm like, I don't want to be at mom's house all the time. But if you have kids and you can only like pop over to your parents' house in a different state, drop
Yeah.
off the kids, and then go to your Hawaii spot, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Or just go get mom or whoever,
Bring them over.
babysitter, boom. And now you're gone. Would that affect This is an interesting question. Would the ability to only take one person with you at a time, through your point, impact how many like would you be more likely to only have one child?
Right.
Because once you have 2 kids, you're screwed.
Well,
You can only take one of them with you. What are you gonna do with the
Dad
other one?
has to take the other one.
Yeah, maybe partner
Yeah,
uses
but
the other.
then dad also has to make
Yeah.
one of the parents' spots one of their spots.
Yeah.
So it's like,
That's why going and getting someone to come back and being the babysitter.
yeah,
is
that's a good
more,
point.
I mean, you can still have regular, normal life. People can still have cars and plane. Like normal life can still exist, but not
So-
everything has to go through a fast
I
travel.
have a question about that though,
Okay.
normal life continuing, because if everyone has that's where I struggle with it. If everyone
would
else
the economic
has one,
demand for transportation go down to the point that it
decrease?
doesn't?
Yeah, or at least air
yeah.
travel. Like I feel like people would be more willing to do like sea travel or like road travel.
More like
you know,
leisure.
Would
leisure
boom,
travel.
I feel
Yeah, because
Yeah,
tour.
cruises.
Yeah, what'd you say?
cruises would boom.
Yeah, I think tourism in general, I guess it just depends on what it is, because like we said, like trains in Europe would be probably booming because
because you can make one spot in
people
Switzerland
would want to
and then
jump
you're going
somewhere
all
and
over.
then go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so it's like when people are just more mobile in general, those types of travel I think would be more common. Okay, let's give final 5 lists
Scary.
of what yours are going to be. Does anybody feel like they have theirs locked in?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
I'll do mine
I'm like
first.
about to.
Damn.
Okay, I'm going to go somewhere near my current home because I think, especially if I'm motivated to, I like have an extra reason to, I think I might like to live here in the long term. So I think it's a safe bet. Even if I don't, there's like stuff around. There's movie theaters and restaurants. Like I could find reasons to come back here, even if it's just my only LA point, and then I can get to other places. I think that would be fine. Gonna do one near my parents' house, maybe not right outside their house, but maybe like down the street somewhere central that they could come pick me up or something. Hawaii, I don't know Hawaii. I've only been once, so I don't know well. I'd have to do a little bit more research, but probably like which one? Honolulu's on which? Oahu. I might pick there, and I know there is some scenic stuff on that island too. So, but that might be subject to change.
Is that 3?
That's 3. Now it gets tough. I'm gonna pick New York because I just think there's a lot to do there. And my last one is between a few. On my list of contenders, Boston, because I have family there. So
but that's close to New York. That's like a 2-hour.
Yeah, that's probably too close to have 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick somewhere in Rome.
Oh,
Italy.
Wow, what a
Hadn't
turn.
mentioned that yet. It was on my list.
Turn.
I think the Mediterranean area is amazing. Like I can go to Greece from there. I can go, you can go to France from, like there's a lot of places relatively easily accessible. I think Italy would be cool. I want somewhere more, I don't know, exotic's the right word, but just, not in like all of the rest of mine are in America. Like I do want to go somewhere international. I want to be able to get to other places from there. So it just seems like a central enough location, and I'm close to like nice, beaches and like cool stuff like that. So
Good food.
Yeah. Again, you can just pop over and have access to insane food all the time. That'd be great.
Amazing.
You're up.
Okay.
Unless anybody
Europe,
else.
exactly.
Europe.
I need to pick a place in Europe. You've made a good point, and I hadn't really thought of a place in Europe because I haven't really spent much time.
I've never been to Europe. I've never been to any other continent currently in my life.
I was also thinking, like, how do I spread out my continents?
I know it's so hard for me to commit to. That's why I'm like picking places that are a little more, I'm more familiar with because I know what I can get out of it. I could go to, like I thought about London. I thought about like cities that are just known for like awesome, the same reasons you would pick New York. There's plenty of cities that have cool culture, that have theme parks, that have like fun stuff to do. But it's just like hard to just look at a map blindly, having never been, and go, there for the rest of my life, that's my spot. That's why I felt like just geographically Italy is like kind of close to a lot of other cool places that I'm like, that'll just be my hub for Europe. Basically, I don't have anywhere in like Japan would be, but I just think people I know, I'm banking on enough people I know would want Japan that I'm like, I could just tag along.
Totally.
That's smart.
Absolutely. Okay, so I said I chose two-step in Hawaii because of the snorkeling, and I do want to live in Hawaii, but there could be better snorkeling somewhere else. And I just
You've
love
already done the snorkeling there.
I've done the snorkeling there, but I also know it, so it's like, oh, I can just like go there
You'd be
every
familiar
weekend
with
and
it,
jump in, and then I'm like also like kind of like tracking what I'm seeing over time, and then I have a career in marine biology because I'm like,
wow,
doing
your
all
life's
this
totally
research.
changing now.
All right, so I just need that one. No.
Can I throw you out? I don't know if you've
Just
thought
the
about
one.
this one. If you love that, Australia is a great option for you.
Great Barrier
Great
Reef.
I was
Barrier
going to
Reef.
say, have you met the Great Barrier Reef?
I haven't met him personally.
We're pen pals.
I think there's also good snorkeling in the Philippines.
There's so much good
and there
snorkeling
is
over
that where you could see like the big whale sharks.
I think so. Yeah. So
So-
much of the world to explore under the water.
So much of the
Under the water.
under the
Yeah.
water.
Under the water.
And in 20 years, a bunch more will be under the water.
If Ruby's
all of Ruby's
premonitions-
points are going to be under the water. You're going to be an aquatic. You're going to have to turn into a mermaid.
Can't boil it.
You're turning into the SpongeBob meme.
I am.
Boiled it. Boiled it.
Oh, I'm kidding.
Okay, so possibly Great Barrier Reef, not on the Great Barrier Reef, because if you don't know,
You don't want to
it's
just
like
drop
random-
in.
drop it in the ocean.
There's a random coral.
I am 60 meters under the water.
No.
A convenient place on land near the Great Barrier Reef
Yeah.
is a possibility. I also mentioned a particular movie theater that is near where I live now. I won't say which movie theater that is, but we go there a lot. So
Is that going to be your closest one to home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Assuming you live in LA,
Assuming
and not
I
Hawaii,
like
but
have a home base kind of in LA
yeah.
forever.
Even if you don't, come visit, watch a movie.
I'm a California girl. I like California
go.
enough. I'm not going to be mad.
Mom, I'm gonna be at the theater. Come catch me.
Yeah.
We'll watch a movie together.
Come catch me. I will keep my ramen shop in Japan.
Yeah.
I think it's called Ramen Imoto.
Nice.
We could have a different podcast about the ramen. It's really good.
It's a whole ramen podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 5th spot, somewhere European.
Oh, wait, isn't that my 4th spot?
I lost track.
Okay,
you
I
gotta
think it's
count
my
your own
4th.
spots.
I think it's my 4th, but okay. So one
No,
of
wait,
my
you
nephews.
had Hawaii,
You had Hawaii,
Australia.
No, sorry, I was possibly replacing Hawaii with Australia.
Oh,
Yeah.
big upset.
I know. Because I can fairly easily fly to Hawaii from
Yeah,
here.
it's true. It's
That's
pretty
true.
It's
close.
not that
It's actually
far.
pretty cheap.
Yeah.
LA to
Yeah.
Hawaii is like one of the
I still
cheapest
haven't been. I have
flights.
to go.
But what I was going to say is one of my nephews is about to move to Germany. So it's like maybe I...
Germany's.
Do a
I was thinking
Germany
Germany
one.
because it's pretty it's
yeah.
more central in
It's
Europe.
more central.
So.
And then I need one like super remote secret spot
Yeah.
that's just for me to reflect. And I guess it's not the moon.
I mean,
Let's just talk for a second. It's not the moon.
It's not the moon.
just to clarify, it's not the moon or a mall.
Or a mall.
We're all in the 80s. All of a sudden,
In
like
the
Stranger
80s,
Things
yeah.
theme.
Yeah.
You can slowly build a mall
On the moon.
On the moon.
You take one
mall.
item with you at a time.
Just what?
It's a
yeah,
well. You can only. I think you can only take like what you can carry.
Oh.
Okay, so I mean, I've got like a backpack.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, you can bring some stuff, but it's gonna take you a long time to build a mall at
yeah.
that pace. It's a long-term investment.
Just a tiny little convenience store on the moon.
It's going to start as a couple tents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just build a bodega on the moon.
So let's say, yeah.
I started with the humble beginnings. I had one little bodega that was a tent on the mall, and now I have a moon mall empire. Is that it?
My moon
Is
dust.
that your
My moon does.
What's my remote location, guys? Like
a scenic
yeah, because like we talked about New Zealand. New Zealand's pretty close to Australia. I already picked Australia.
Antarctica?
Right.
Or Greenland?
The Brazilian
Greenland or
rainforest.
Iceland's a
Iceland,
great
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Iceland's
like
good.
northern Canada, where the
True.
sun
Yeah.
doesn't
Or
set.
like
We're going very
Norway.
cold. I'm actually a
Yeah.
very tropical
Yeah, I
lover.
said Brazilian rainforest.
Brazilian
like a little
rainforest.
like cabin.
I
in
didn't
the-
pick anything in South America.
South Africa,
South Africa.
South Africa too.
Madagascar,
Or anywhere in Africa. I
South
didn't pick
Africa-
that as a continent.
Real hot, right?
I've always wanted to go
Yeah.
to Madagascar.
There you go.
Okay.
And it's
oh,
an island.
yeah, and I love animals, and they have like unique flora and fauna.
Oh.
There
I
you
pick
go.
Madagascar,
God, I
a
didn't even
remote
think about-
with a viewpoint.
I was thinking about stupid humans. I didn't even think about
Yeah.
where all the good animals are.
Yeah, animals are
What a moron I am.
But we
on
are
a big
animals.
basis. Sorry that took me so long. Please, next
That's
person.
fine.
No, good. You bought me time to
No, you
think.
did that- yeah. Okay. Because I was also thinking about the continents earlier, and I was like, where is a good spot in South Africa? Or not South Africa. Africa in general. Morocco.
Morocco.
Even though I have heard that the treatment of women there isn't the greatest.
Morocco adjacent.
Yeah, but if it gets sketchy, you can just skedaddle on out
Yeah.
of there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you can. You can get some
That's true.
spices while you're there.
Exactly.
Lots of real good spices.
Exactly. Like I'm.
You've never seen like the pictures of Morocco? It's just like a whole
yeah.
trail of
Yeah.
spices, and they're like
That's
down,
true.
Are there
so
spices that you
colorful.
can't that they don't export to other like?
Again,
Can you
yeah,
get
with
those
the
spices
legal
here?
leaves.
You can get saffron, which is much cheaper
Yeah.
in Morocco.
I'm not
than it is
using
elsewhere.
one of my points to get cheaper saffron.
Everyone has different
I think there's other
priorities.
reasons to go to Morocco. I'm not saying that's the only one, but if that's like
you-
if that's like second on your list of reasons,
Honestly, not
Yeah.
a terrible option because you can also just like go up to Spain
Yeah.
anytime. South of Spain is
Exactly.
beautiful. Go to the beach out there.
But yeah, home base wise, I think I would just put it somewhere here in LA County. There's
because that covers because you didn't mention specifically, but that covers your immediate family is here, so you don't have that extra burden.
Dude.
Did you hear that, family?
You're a burden to me.
But yeah, somewhere here in LA County.
Okay.
Preferably.
But only one place in LA. So far, everyone's only done one place here, so there's no
Yes.
commuting, no like navigating your daily life here.
We have cars
Okay,
for a reason.
sure.
I was thinking earlier because you asked about daily life. I was thinking of putting it in like a strip mall where you have like a grocery shop, a theater, a hair salon, probably if it's there, and like a bunch of little food places with a giant parking lot.
Oh, you just blew my mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to put one at a place like that, and or maybe it's a mall. We don't know.
We don't know.
There's some places
In Italy?
near Charlotte. My family lives in the Charlotte area. So I two birds with one stone. I put somewhere where there's like a grocery store. There's a convenient errand running and stuff like that. But then also I can just call my mom and be like, hey, I'm in town. But then I'm also getting groceries and stuff. Not in California prices. I'm getting friggin' South Carolina prices.
See?
Can you take your car? Just go get gas down
Can't
there
take
too.
your car.
Oh,
Take a gas can.
Take a gas can.
Yeah, there you go. I got a big gas
There you
backpack.
go.
Gas backpack.
so yeah. Second would be a strip mall. I don't know which one. There's this one that I'm thinking of
It's
in
just
particular.
like it's just like, yeah, I would go like somewhere in Europe. I would go to Morocco. I'd go to
And
a
also a
strip
strip
mall.
mall.
Like I'd love like to
in
easy access to
suburban
a,
Los Angeles.
I'd love to get to a Chipotle really quick.
Listen, sometimes I want their chips and salsa.
Sure.
Fair.
They're what is it? Their guac. Is it their lime chips?
Oh, they're so good.
Well, I
So
get my
good.
hair done.
So good.
said.
Exactly. Anyway, oh yeah, third would be the Philippines, that one island called Palawan. I feel like that would be my isolation spot. Fourth, oh shit. I really thought I had this one. I think I would stick with Athens, Greece. Just
Good
because
choice.
it's accessible to the other islands in Greece.
Yeah.
And travel friendly to the rest of Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can meet up
yeah.
in Italy.
Yeah, we could be, yeah.
You
sure.
wouldn't, but we could.
It's like unless I'm really just that
You're like
bored.
I'm going across the world to get more away from you as possible.
What's that line in Bridgerton? It's like, and I'm leaving for India, and that's not far enough away from me.
It's funny to me though that Shonda Rhimes like made Grey's Anatomy and all these shows that are like tons of episodes
20
on every
well, that's-
Thursday night,
Yeah.
never-ending stories.
None of this is making it into
None
the
of
show.
Oh damn, I love Shonda. I really do.
Are you gonna live in her house?
Live in her house? No, if I
she's
could just
got-
get her to give me a job, like
Yeah.
I don't even need to go to her house.
You could
I think
boil
she's
her
got a
water
house in
for her.
Europe.
Yeah, I'm sure
She's
she's
doing
got a house
research for
everywhere.
Bridgerton.
Oh, true. Regency era.
She's got a house in the past.
I was thinking that
That's
at
how
one
she
point.
figures all this
She
shit
put
out.
spots in the past.
She's a time traveler.
Yeah.
That's what she is.
That's the next episode.
If anyone's got enough money to figure out time travel, it's
It's
Shonda
Shonda
Rhimes.
Rhimes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Was that my fourth?
Yep.
Okay. Where would my fifth be?
A different strip mall. This one's got a Jersey Mike's.
I love Jersey
Me
Mike's.
too.
Oh my gosh,
God,
common
if I
ground.
could have instant access to Jersey Mike's, that'd be bad for me.
Oh my god, true. I also love Jimmy John's.
Ah, Jimmy John sucks.
Oh my god, you
I don't.
tasteless bastard. What do you mean you don't like Jimmy John's?
Shots fired.
I just think it's okay.
Emily, I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's a sandwich. So it's not terrible. It's just
Have you
far
had
from my preferred sandwich.
Okay.
I feel like the bread is dry and gross.
That was a real emotional roller coaster for me between you two because I was like, oh, they're finally getting along. They
Quickly turned it into
yeah, they bonded.
Yeah.
And then I call him
over-
a tasteless bastard for not liking Jimmy John's.
That's fair.
Well, he came at it aggressively too.
I think I said it pretty mildly.
He did throw me some shade for possibly picking a strip mall somewhere in another country with a Jersey Mike's in it.
Did you wait in another country? I thought your strip mall was in LA.
No.
Where's your strip mall?
The strip mall that I already had a
Yeah.
spot in. Yeah, it's in LA.
Okay.
That's my home
No,
base.
I think it's a reasonable choice. I just was like, it's just really funny. You guys are making fun of me for saying a mall or whatever, and then you picked the lesser, not even a mall, like a quarter
I
of a
wouldn't
mall.
say lesser.
malls
Strip
are
malls have
dying.
weather.
True.
So do mall. You can go outside of a mall.
No. The magic.
Strip malls have weather.
They do.
And malls, if you go to a mall, you're
inside
trapped
and it's
inside.
AC.
You can
It's probably in
never.
a cold place.
Yeah.
That's why you're inside.
You're going
you
to
go
the-
outside, you freeze your ass off.
You're going to the
I don't
Five
know.
Nights at Freddy's Mall. You can never leave and see the outdoors. What's your fifth one?
Oh my god. Probably Brazil.
Brazil. Off the
like
board.
Rio.
Hadn't even
Rio
brought
de
it
Janeiro
up.
in
That's a
Brazil.
great choice.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's my turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Universal City Walk is a great option for me as my LA
Your LA
spot
Central.
Mm.
Okay.
because it's like close to heart. It's close to my places that I frequent.
Sure.
So that goes to your convenience
Yeah, there's
point.
things to do there, and it's just a good LA.
Yeah, it's also
starting
where
place.
Jesse and I had like our first like official date situation.
Aw.
So
I remember that.
Miami Beach, Florida. I'm not sure where on the beach. Just on the beach.
Figure it
Just
out.
drop me on the beach.
On the beach.
I have a friend
That's
that
gonna
lives
be
close to the
underwater
beach,
quick.
and she's a close friend.
That's
so.
gonna be underwater quick.
Yes, tides do change.
Yeah. I put my point down on low tide. Fuck.
Sandbar, yes. And then third spot would have to be Costa Rica, just because I don't go enough, and it's
Yeah.
and I feel like that would also make a good solitary spot. Like if I choose somewhere in the beach in Costa Rica, or like one of the forests or something.
Like you said, when you have a place that has a personal connection, but is also like a cool destination
gotta
vacation
pick
spot, like that's a
Yeah.
You
good
gotta pick it.
double whammy.
Especially because I've gone to Costa Rica both to like see family, hang out with everyone, go to weddings, go to, baptisms, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've also gone and been like, sorry, family, not saying hi to you this time.
Yeah.
Going straight to the beach and just
Yeah, and then you can do
doing
both.
the beach vacation part of it. And it's more affordable because you like know the country more and stuff like that.
Ruby, can I tag along with you
Yes,
to Costa
definitely.
Rica? You know what Costa Rica has?
Something?
Frogs.
Oh,
many
I thought you were gonna say
frogs.
snorkeling.
Snorkeling.
And snorkeling.
And snorkeling.
So many frogs. Some poisonous, but we'll stay away.
Whoa.
Yeah. So what's that, 3?
Sure,
I said Amsterdam. That's my Europe spot.
sure.
Love it there. And then also just take a train to Paris really quickly. I feel like I have to do something Asian just to have like a little bit in a few continents. Yeah, I would pick Japan. I would pick like a Kyoto though instead of a Tokyo, just so I'm a little bit off the beaten path and I
Sure.
can go to Tokyo, whatever. So
Yeah.
that's my 5.
All right.
Nobody's house. No celebrity's house.
No, if I meet any celebrities, I will add that.
Nicolas
as well.
Cage has a house in Kyoto. Go there.
That man has a house everywhere.
All right. Well, get down in the comments. Tell us if you think our lists are stupid
Probably.
and where you would, which strip mall would you
Recommend for Nadine.
list the
Jimmy
5
John's or Jersey
Yeah,
Mike's.
list the 5 sandwich places you would put your points. Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, Subway, the last Quiznos on Earth, maybe that's still hanging around.
That's,
Oh
the,
my
that's the sandwich
gosh.
place I was trying to think of earlier.
Yeah.
Is Quiznos.
Emily, you have any
Oh, did you?
thoughts?
Do you have a list that handy?
I do.
Yes, I need to
Rattle
try
it.
it.
1, Disneyland. That's just a real time saver for me.
Yeah.
I go a lot. Traffic is bad. 2, Portland, Oregon, because that's where my family lives. It's not a far flight, but it would be nice to pop in for dinner from time to time. 3, I was going to say Disney World, but I have changed my mind now, and I am going to say New York because it is a quicker flight. I love live theater.
It's not that much quicker. Florida to New York is not a quick flight.
Really
But
is
it's
a
not.
quick flight.
It's quicker than flying from Los Angeles.
Okay.
I think I'll probably do like a Paris as my Europe location.
Disney Paris?
You know.
There you
I mean,
go.
you're close to that. Didn't think about that, but good call.
You could just do all the Disney parks and
That's
actually have a
literally-
good list, though.
That's
Well, my
literally what I
next
said.
one is Tokyo as an Asian location because I feel like those two, like you can get most you know, I have one
Yes.
Asia, one Europe. Well, I can fly everywhere else I need to fly.
Yeah.
If I want to go to New Zealand or Australia or anywhere, I can just pop over at a shorter flight.
Okay.
Really about maximizing my flight time here.
You're going to be flying more than ever with your fast travel locations.
Or I'll just go
You're gonna put
eat
them
a
in
bunch
the
of ramen.
You're
and-
going to put them in the airport? Now you really put your fast travel point through security. I'll save you a lot of time.
I love that.
That's
might get tackled.
dangerous.
Yeah. Talk about criminal
Yeah.
endeavors.
That was 5.
What? Say 'em again?
Disneyland, Portland, Oregon, New York, Paris, Tokyo.
I'm gonna
right.
I'm gonna let you know something
boom,
here,
boom, boom.
pal. You were like Disneyland. Save myself some time. That's the closest one to your home. You're gonna have to drive to Disneyland to use any of these. You banged yourself, kid.
Oh boy.
You've now committed to driving to Anaheim like every other day of your
Okay,
life.
I take it back. I am going to do one in Los Angeles,
Okay.
and I will suffer the drive to Disneyland where the traffic is bad.
Even though none of us did it, I don't think it's unreasonable if you. I just think it's spooky to some of us because I feel like none of us are super confident that we're going to live and work in the places. But like, if I thought like, oh, here's my office, here's where I'm going to live, I own my house, whatever. I think it's very valid to be like, I'm going to get rid of my commute by like connecting the two with 2 points. You can still have your other points for more fun things, but like it's just a risk. If they change, they become less
Here's the
relevant.
thing I didn't take into account, that you have to start at a point. I was like, I start at my home and
There's
then
no
I
point
can
there.
go wherever. But
One
there
of your
is
points
no
has to
point
be-
in my home. Yes,
Yeah.
I see my mistake.
Love it. Another reason to go to Universal City Walk all the time. It's one of my points. I got to get there to get to all my other points.
Yeah.
That's true. That's how I'm going to live my life moving forward.
Your home base, Margaritaville.
Actually, I
right.
might put mine there in Margaritaville.
Inside in the
Inside
kitchen.
Margarita, next to the margarita machine.